Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. I have been given the opportunity to facilitate the Srimad Bhagavatam reading today for the verse, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 31. And before I begin, I would like to seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, my Guru Maharaj, and all the senior devotees. So I am not I don't do this very often. So please bear with me and please bless me so that I can repeat the words, what I have heard.
Prabhu, one small request before you continue. Because your camera is moving, I think. So
I'm going to keep it like this, Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu. Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 31. Yena eva aham bhagavato vasudevasya vedasaha maya anubhavam avidam yena gachanti tadpadam. Yena, by which, eva, certainly, aham, I, bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead, Vasudevasya, of Lord Shri Krishna, Vedasaha, of the Supreme Creator, Maya, energy, Anubhava, influence, Avedam, easily understood, Yena, by which, Gachanti, yes, they go, Tad Padam, at the lotus feet of the Lord. Translation: by that confidential knowledge, I could understand clearly the influence of the energy of Lord Shri Krishna, the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of everything. By knowing that, one can return to him and personally meet him. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By devotional service or by the most confidential knowledge, one can understand very easily how the different energies of the Lord are working. One part of energy is manifesting the material world. The other superior part of his energy is manifesting the spiritual world. And via medium energy is manifesting the living entities who are serving either of the above mentioned energies. The living entities serving material energy are struggling hard for existence and happiness, which is presented to them as illusion. But those in the spiritual energy are placed under the direct service of the Lord in eternal life, complete knowledge, and perpetual bliss. The Lord desires, as he has directly said in the Bhagavad Gita, that all conditioned souls rotting in the kingdom of material energy come back to him by giving up all engagements in the material world. This is the most confidential part of knowledge, but this can be understood only by the pure devotees, and only such devotees enter the kingdom of God to see him personally and serve him personally. The concrete example is Narada himself, who attained this stage of eternal knowledge and eternal bliss. And the ways and means are open to all, provided one agrees to follow in the footsteps of Sri Narada Muni. According to the Shruti, the Supreme Lord has unlimited energies without effort by him. And these are described under three principal headings as above mentioned. So before I begin to get into the verse, I would like to take some time in describing the caption of this chapter. It says Narada's instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam. And just to have continuity, I'd like to just give a brief synopsis of what has happened so far in Narada's life, so that we can all, we are towards text 31. I'd like to talk about Narada as a child. He was 5 years old. He was born of a maidservant, and he had the opportunity of some Shuddha Bhaktas, coming to visit his mother. And during that opportunity, he had a time to serve the pure devotees. And, what happened is he did ask for permission from them to take the remnants of their prasad. And with that, and after hearing them very patiently for 2 or 3 seasons, he was kind of absorbed. So in Krishna Bhakti, they found Narada Muni to be a very, very simple boy, not very mischievous, but very attentive. And he was such a little boy. And then the stages, of the Bhagavatas was so merciful. Mercy comes in 2 ways. It comes with a cause, or it could be causeless. And commonly in this material world, it is caused mercy with a cause. And when it is unattractive, it is on the side. But the sages blessed Narada with causeless mercy. And because Narada was so inclined and very fixed in listening to them to the T, he really, really was benefited, and he was fixed on the path of devotional service. And these sages were, jnana. What is jnana? Jnana means difference of matter and spirit. And bhakti is mixed with jnana. These Bhakti Vedantas gave Shuddha Bhakti to this little boy. They were merciful, and by their mercy, he could develop further good qualities. And the nature was very, very, the instructions were very good. And Narada really wants Vyasadeva to understand how to advance in Krishna consciousness. And by God's arrangement, you bump into someone who is really merciful. And, we can see from our lives how that causeless mercy has manifested in each and every one of our lives. So that being said, since Narada was really, really focused, he really advanced very quickly. And the sages gave him blessings before they left. And what happens is when you take on to this path of Krishna consciousness and, all the bad habits, ignorance is removed instantaneously. And what happens is you progress very quickly. So now I would like to, after giving this background, I would like to talk about this particular verse. And I'd like to take this opportunity to reread the translation. So by that confidential knowledge, I could understand clearly the influence of the energy of Lord Sri Krishna, the creator, the maintainer, and annihilator of everything. By knowing that, one can return to him and personally meet with him. So why is it so much repeated that getting to the spiritual world, the example of the Virat Rupa unfolding, the reason why this repetition is there is because we have to understand the energies of the Lord. And Narada discussed this with the Bhakti Vedantas. He could understand clearly that the path of devotional service was wide open. And he was in the association with them. So these three energies, the creator, maintainer, and annihilator, is all given in the purport. When we talk about it, the purport talks about confidential knowledge. One can understand very easily how these different energies of the Lord are working. And who can understand? Not everybody can understand. Only those people or those devotees that are really, really into Krishna consciousness and are God conscious make progress on this path. And this one particular thing that really struck out is that the living entities are serving material energy and are struggling hard for existence and happiness. And we can see this in today's world as well, today's happenings in the world. Every day is a kind of a battle. When we get up in the morning, we have to do this. These are the chores we got to do. You got to rush out. You got your job. You got your responsibilities, which is a good thing. But if you really look at it, we come here for a purpose. Our purpose is to love and serve the Lord. But we get sidetracked with all these distractions that are there. And it is a constant battle that we chant your rounds. You get out of the house, chanting your rounds. I consider that to be like an armor. You wear your armor before you step out of the house. So we are all struggling in this material world. And not to belittle what is going on, everybody knows what is going on, what kind of struggles we human beings are having right now. And we think that we are smart. We are really, really insignificant. But we try to show that we've got intelligence and we can do anything that we please. But we have to remain focused on the Lord's mercy, on the Lord's greatness, and the three energies that we have. Moving along, I would like to mention here, we have to use our body and mind in Krishna consciousness. And so we understand that part. We have to follow the steps of Narada Muni, and we should understand. There's another example that I would like to bring out here, that the Earth planet has got about 7.5 billion people, or close to that right now. Now, when we look at how many of them are devotees, we got a handful. Now, we could really be complacent, but we are very, very fortunate that we are in this association. We've got to realize this. We got to understand that Krishna is supreme, and we get such nice association sitting so far away from where we were born. Many of us were born in different countries, but it is something that we really may have done something good in our previous lives, and that's how we are there. We got this causeless mercy. So Narada wants Vyasa to really do what the rest is laid out. This is free for anybody to take. But the only thing is this, that people are so, like I mentioned, people are so tied up in their day-to-day distractions as such that they forget to follow the instructions of their guru or the instructions of Narada Muni, like it's written in this. So this, I would like to also mention that Narada, when he appeared and he spoke to Vyasadeva, he knew in his heart that Vyasadeva is really not satisfied with what he has written so far. And he helped him, he pointed out to him that you need to highlight and bring the goodness of the Lord so that everybody can be satisfied, so that common people can understand and they could really realize God consciousness and how it could be done. So coming to the last part of this verse, I would like to just say that we have to follow in the footsteps of Sri Narada, and the Lord has unlimited energies and he is very merciful. So as we take up to Krishna consciousness, we get absorbed in it, similar to what Narada Muni got absorbed. And what happens is all the negative energies, all the bad things fall off on the wayside, because we are in our own bubble praying to the Lord and under his protection and under his guidance through the guru and all the association that we can get in Krishna consciousness. So I know this was not a very long verse, but at the same time, I'd like to just open it up for discussion. I think I have completed the verse from my side, and I'm open to anybody and everybody's comments that are there. So any comments? I would encourage anybody to say a few words, or if there are any questions, if I'm capable of answering, I will. Otherwise, I'll get back to you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Vamsi Das Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Yes, Prabhu.
I would only say it was very nice. Your presentation and the conclusion Arjun is bringing. It's off topic. I was reading somewhere else. Some other parts of the Bhagavatam, and then I was trying to relate. It was basically of an ideal character of a perfect human being, and I was just not able to relate. But coming back to Narada Muni's story, really making it practical. What do we need to do, and how do we go about? And your explanation about how we are coming from a different place. Somehow there was something good, and then we are blessed with this devotion service, and then keep moving on. it was like the feeling is nice, and it will be soothing to the heart also, Prabhu. So just some sharing from my side, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. You're very kind and you're very devoted, and I get inspired. Honestly, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart that I get inspired when I see the way you and Mataji serve. Please keep continuing doing that.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you for blessings. We are always dependent on our seniors' blessings and guidance and protection, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Dasi. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for bringing that connection and nicely giving like a summary, the whole section and the context. Prabhu, I'm just thinking as we have the time, just would like to hear the discussion on this statement here. Is the concrete example is Narada himself. And I think before that, sorry, I just missed that statement.
So
Okay.
it is in the verse, right? Please hold, Mataji.
Yes,
Let me just bring that up.
Yeah, it is in the purport itself, Prabhu. I was just seeing. I lost it. Okay, I think it says, okay, the Lord desires, as he has directly said in the Bhagavad Gita, that all conditioned souls rotting in the kingdom of material energy, this is a part I would like to have the discussion, Prabhu, come back to him by giving up all engagements in the material world. So that part a little bit caught my attention, and as Vamshidhari Prabhu was sharing, Narada Muni's example we have follow. But somehow for me, Narada Muni is like really following this principle of giving up material engagements to the highest degree, whereas for most of us, I mean, especially for me, I don't think I can go to that kind of a state. I have heard about Yukta Vairagya. I just want to hear the connection with respect to Narada Muni's example, Prabhu.
So Mataji, very good. Thank you for bringing that up. And I will send you something after this class that I was reading yesterday on this particular thing. It is the synopsis of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And there are about 3 or 4 pages. And if you don't mind, can you please bring my iPad? I'll read it to you, Mataji, and I'll give you in a nutshell what I read so that you understand this connection. So when Narada Muni was 5 years old, these sages came, he served them, and we've covered that part. Then what happened is the chronological events that are happening is that his mother was a maidservant, as we all are aware, right? When his mother was a maidservant, she really was trying to keep Narada with her, as due to due to maternal, affection. And one day she was going, and a serpent bit her, and she died. So Narada, such a young boy, he understood that this could be the blessings of the Lord. And then what happened is he went from place to place, village to village, other places. And I'm just waiting for my iPad, which I think she's going to get. Give me one quick second, Mataji. Sorry about this. I should have kept it with me.
Oh,
But it's
no
a very
problem.
good point you bring up, Mataji, and I will be happy to share this with you. And this is very inspiring to really understand this. So the connection is super. So he goes and he does this, and his mother was going to milk a cow, and that what happened is, even though that happened, he felt the separation, but he was such a young boy. He went to villages, farms, and forests, and he entered densely dark jungle and a playground with all owls and jackals. And then thereafter, when he sat down there, he found a great banyan tree nearby. And when he found the great banyan tree nearby, he, started, concentrating on the Lord, on the lotus feet of the Lord. And he became transferred into transcendental feelings. Tears fell from his eyes, and Lord Krishna appeared on the lotus of his heart. And seeing the beloved Lord, he, he was very, very inspired, and he discussed with the Lord, and then the Lord disappeared. And he told, he came in the voice, the Lord came in a voice form to him, that he will not see him again. But he blessed him that, every, after the Lord was speaking, he found a profound gratitude. He bowed his head to offer his obeisances, and then he started moving out. So then what happened is, I do have this um, in my iPad, but it did not, I took a picture, it did not really come clearly, but I will definitely give this to you. So then what I remember when I read this is that the next life that he had, he was blessed because of his blessings with the Lord, that he could travel from one realm to another realm to another realm, and he really didn't need it, and he got a spiritual body, and that is how Narada Muni came about to be. So we've got to really understand that a 5-year-old boy, what experiences he went through, what blessings he got from the sages, the Vedantas, and when they were departing, they blessed him that may Krishna be with you and may you take to this path. And he did this, and he completed his one lifetime there after he had seen the Lord. And then when he was reborn, he got he what happened is, he was inhalated, the material in this thing was finished, so he was taken into Lord Vishnu. And then when Lord Vishnu exhaled, the new manifestation took place, and that is when he got a spiritual body, is what my understanding is. And I'd be happy to share this with you, Mother. I hope it's made some sense, or I just babbled away. Not sure.
No, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
And you, Mataji, are doing so much service. You're doing so well, and keep continuing, bringing your children. What happens is, we want to see instant, progress. But please remember, my sincere request to you is, this is a process. This is not something that you can, see. You jump on a scale and you see that you have gained so much weight or lost so much weight with doing this. It is a process. It's a continuous process. And over the years, the goal is to stick with the program. And you're doing it. And you're spending your every spare moment of yours in Krishna consciousness. So we have to just follow along, understand what Guru Maharaj is telling us, understand how we can serve each other, keeping our differences aside, and having a common goal. And we are very, very fortunate. It's like winning the lottery, Mataji, that we come from different backgrounds, different baggages, different outlooks, and we come And Srila Prabhupada has connected us to this wonderful mission of Lord Chaitanya's mission, which is love of Godhead, you know.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for doing today's class. This is my first time hearing from you. I know you have given classes at the temple, but I was never able to attend. So I'm happy that I was able to attend today's class. Yeah, one point that you mentioned, and it really kind of touched my heart. You said chanting every morning before we step out. Chanting is like our armor that we're putting on to fight with the material energy. So that was like from a different perspective from what we have heard before, and I really like that point. So I have a desire that I would like to hear from Mataji one day. I feel like she speaks from her heart so much every time I talk to her. So it would be really nice, I was thinking, to hear from her, reading Bhagavatam and sharing her realization. So you please convey that to her for me.
I thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. And this is the lifeline. Thank you, Mataji, for bringing that up. I really feel, honestly, that, we have got to go out in the world and we have to face so many people that we really don't want to interact. If we don't have a necessity to interact with them, we would rather say Hare Krishna and move on. But because of our duties, that we have to do this. We have to keep in mind that the Lord is putting us through this for a reason.
Yeah.
And we have to put up with so many things. So how can we put up with so many things without getting upset, without doing so many things, without throwing a tantrum? Is the chanting and hearing. If we can just do this, that we'll be very fortunate. And thank you, Mataji, for your kind comments. And I will communicate this to Manasi Ganga.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Sri Kishore Das. Thank you very much for such a crisp and sweet talk. Even I was very happy to hear that particular point what Mataji was mentioning about chanting. That was something which really made me so happy and lively, actually, that we put on our armor before going out into this world. Into dealing with this, our material dealings. But yeah, it is always a struggle to even do that properly early in the morning, taking it as a utmost priority and do it every day. At least I am trying to do it, but I feel like there is a long way to go, actually, to improve my chanting, to make it as a true offering to the spiritual master and Krishna. And I think hearing from Vaishnavas like all of you is actually helping me a lot. Thank you very much for that.
Prabhuji, thank you for your kind words. All I can say is, Prabhu, that the goal is to try and stick with the program, no matter what happens. There will be ups and there will be downs. And, we're not constant. And, the goal is just stick with the program. Whatever Maharaj, whenever anybody has asked him any question like that, from my recollection, he's always said, this is a program, stick with it.
Yeah.
He told me once, and I'll share with everybody, when my children were like 6 and 4 and 6, Rajiv was 6 and Neha was 4. When he said, do you have children? We got to know Maharaj then. And he said, do you have children? I said, yes. He's saying, how old? So we invited him to our house in Palatine. We used to live in a small townhouse in Palatine, and he came. And I remember his instructions. He said, if you have children and you don't make them Krishna conscious, what is the point of having children? So see, I am looking at all you all younger generation, which I get very inspired to see. And I always try to encourage every younger generation that comes across and asks, how do we do it? I said, just stick with the program. Just keep coming. Give your Sundays to the children. Let them make friends in the temple. Let them have a sense of belongingness. Give them some service so they are engaged. And children will be children. They will be playing. It's okay. We cannot expect a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old child to behave like an adult. And sometimes we are very hard on them as parents. And I'm just sharing this from personal experience and observations. So be kind to them, let them play, let them have some fun as well. But at the same time, if you do this on a regular basis, which you are doing very wonderful things, they will automatically, they're like sponges, they're going to absorb everything. Just keep coming. It's a process. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I would just
Sandhya Mataji, are you still on?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I just like to add one thing, and that is that Saint Tyagaraja is Tyagaraja was a great devotee of Lord Rama. I think he was 18th century poet and musician. He also said the same thing, that I have this armor of your names, Lord. That of Lord Rama's names, he said. And he went through many challenges, even at that time. Now we think, even in the modern day, we have so many, so much of this Kali Yuga problems, people attacking and all that. Even those days, Saint Tyagaraja had to meet opposition, and somebody even went to the extent of throwing his deities into a river and all that. But he was such a great saint. He was able to recover the deities for himself. And Lord Rama every time protected him with his arrows, it is said. Thank you, Prabhu. It is
Very nice, Mataji.
very
Thank you for
nice.
bringing that up.
Very,
I had no idea, but I'm glad that you shared it.
yeah, very nice class, Prabhu. Thank you.
So if there are no more comments, I think we are almost closed. Anybody, one last call. If there are any other comments, you'd like to say something, you'd like to bring up something, that's great. Otherwise, I think we can go about our day. Hare Krishna, and thank you again. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Romapad Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.